is Alex. I have a Instagram and also a YouTube Love Sugar show. So I want to thank you for taking the time for coming to the interview.
Hey, it's me who say thanks. Thanks for the outlet. Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course. And if you don't mind just like introducing yourself to the viewers and just a little bit about the band and the sound.
I don't know what to say. I'm Mariano or Sarini. Sarini is like my stage name or of sorts or whatever. I play percussion and drums on Deaf Kids. On studio, I also play bass, electronics, sometimes a tad bit of guitar, but that's Douglas's specialty. But mostly drums and percussion, and we have been active for 16 years, and we are excited to release a new album, a new studio album, something that we didn't do since 2019. So we're quite excited for this year.
Well, that's awesome. So the first question that I also ask anyone that I interview is how's everything going? Not just musically, but also in your personal life as well, because that's really important.
I'd say things are moving. We are quite excited with the album rollout. We can't wait to see how people react to it because it's I don't know, pretty much of a big step on the direction of on a sonic direction that we really wanted to follow on.
Mhm.
Well, I guess that's it. Uh, I work with music mostly, so we've been trying to get Deaf Kids gigs, a little bit like some gigs before the actual release. I've been working on some soundtracks. Um, yeah, that's basically it. I think everything is pretty swell. Everything is pretty, I don't know, steady,
That's
stable.
good, right? So when we get into the album, for those who haven't heard it, when they first listen to it, what kind of theme or what kind of sounds will listeners experience when they listen to this album?
I'd say uh, Deaf Kids has this, I don't know, um, this umbrella uh, on which we have this um, junction of sound atmospheres that we generally explore, like rhythmic music and sensorial music. It's very electronic as well,
Mhm.
and I think this album is it's more or less the culmination of many of those sound explorations, if you will. So it's a very danceable album. It's a very rhythmic album. Lots of percussion, lots of um, Afro Latin influenced rhythms and beats. It's very electronic as well. Very at the same time, it's very even though it's very psychedelic, it's very direct and to the point. So
Mhm.
we are very excited to see how people react to it because I think most deaf kids um, most deaf kids' records tended to some way like somehow they were kind of elusive in a way, and this record is way more uh, in your face in a way, and not in a um, I'm not referring to genres when I say that. It's more musical in a way.
I think it's very different too, because like you said, you kind of like combine different sounds. So it's like it's not just one thing, it's like a multitude of things, which I thought was really cool.
Hmm. Yeah, it's we never worked very well with like genre music. Like mostly we feel informed by many types of music, and most of them are like a starting point rather than like an end goal. So we never felt inclined to try to reach an aesthetic like a genre or a specific aesthetic. It's way more of like recontextualizing or combining aspects of music, of frantic music, of world music, of psychedelic music that we like. So there are many, many aspects that are known to people and many aspects that are unknown, and that's a thing, that's a theme with Deaf Kids. Like people that approach it from the electronic aspect
Mhm.
will will be able to not predict, but will be able to be familiarized with certain aspects of it, but they will feel uh, they will have other aspects or other parts of the sound that are new to them, and the same with our punkier audience and so on. So that's the nice thing about creating music the way we do. It's way more of an ethos than necessarily a specific sound.
Yeah, so you don't want to like trap yourself in a box and be like, okay, we are this genre, we can't get out. Like it has to be this.
Yeah, it never was. So this is actually the complexification of these processes.
Well, awesome. That's really cool because like you said, you don't want to like trap yourself in a box and it's like you're making your own genre basically.
In a way, in a way.
So what was like the inspiration behind the album? What kind of like got you kickstarted? Like, okay, we need to create this album. Like, what kind of like inspired it?
hmm Yeah, we from the release of Metaprogramação, the album, the 2019 album. Well, we had the pandemic, and then we had so we had like 3 years that we couldn't do much, and then we had like I was in the countryside with my family, so we had these EPs that we created um, like like through the internet mostly. Like we recorded an more lo-fi setting what we could, and then we consolidated everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that those EPs were featured on our latest album, which is like the three EPs that we did um throughout the pandemic years, plus the songs we did for Cyberpunk, like the game Cyberpunk 2077. Um,
That's cool.
yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot happened, even though we were um, unable to travel. Like we only resumed touring in 2022, so we had many collaborations. We had an album with Patrick. Last year we had an album with Test. Um, so these were busy years for Deaf Kids, but at the same time, many things that we were beginning to explore, such as having percussions live, both congas, timbales, and playing on top of beats, that it was something that we were beginning to explore, and we were we were able to explore on the concerts that we did like post pandemic and the 2022 tours with Horacio Pazuzu, 2023 and so on. We haven't recorded with this expanded template. We haven't had the ability to record using this expanded sonic palette. So I think the inspiration came from that, from rhythmic ideas that we had, the ability to create music following more expanded sonic palette. So, for example, uh, being able to whether having like beats and playing percussions on top of it, and maybe Douglas is playing percussion as well, or he's playing guitar, and the song has drums and percussions at the same time. So that's mostly it. And thematically, I think like the name of the album translates to "Scars of the Future," and I think it expresses our
Mm-hmm.
disillusion with the state of our dependency on whether the social media, and well, the idea is that the scars of the future are both the scars that the future cause, like that the future that we witness in the present
Mm-hmm.
cause, and the scars to come, the scars there are to come from that. So,
Yeah.
and, and we think that that marries the the sonic soundscape of the sonic landscape of the album pretty well, because it has this organic feel to it, because it's filled with percussions, but at the same time it's filled with electronic percussions that were played live, but they
Yeah.
are electronic sounds and electronic beats. And Deaf Kids was always this contemporary thing where like past meets present, and meets future as well. So we think is the album carries this um, dichotomy to an extreme in a way.
Do you think it also sounds like futuristic as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the thing that the most flattering thing about being invited for Cyberpunk, like the game, was that like they invited us because not only they liked what we do, but they felt that we have a certain uh, futuristic approach to what we do, and it's cool to feel that uh, by channeling those types of music that are like primordial in their nature, Afro-Latin music, African music, psychedelic music from all over the world. At the same time, being able to adapt those types of music to what we do, and to create something that is different, that points to a different direction. I think that's very cool. So definitely there is a futuristic aspect to it.
And for the game, was it like any songs off this album, or was it like a totally different project? Is it just like in gameplay intro?
Uh, those songs um, were made for the game, and since like we created these songs in 2019 for the game, and then the game was released by the end of 2020. So a lot of time had elapsed because of the pandemic, because of uh, delays that the game had. So by the end, we released them on the album containing the three EPs, like the pandemic years album of sorts,
Yeah.
and we still play some of them live, but those songs, it's crazy to think about that, but they are like 7 years old or 6 years old, which is crazy.
Oh, wow. So, with this album, was there like a specific emotion or an atmosphere that you wanted listeners to feel when they listened to it?
I think we try to capture the apathy that we all feel about social change, in the sense that we all feel very reliant and dependent upon those forms of communicating. So social media and even being artists, it's hard to exist if you're not on those platforms. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of shapes the way we communicate to each other. And I feel that there is this apathy, and at the same time that there is a certain frenziness, a certain franticness that we have to allow ourselves to feel in order to refuse that, in order uh, to reclaim a certain communal sense of rebellion and even of aesthetic um improvement or aesthetic um, innovation. So I think that the album deals with that. Like it is warm, it is like frantic in this in with the intention of um trying um, to go against this type of apathy that we feel, but at the same time, it chronicles this apathy as well. It's not necessarily an album that refuses this those feelings. We acknowledge it, and at the same time, we try to, through the sound and through the lyrical content,
Mhm.
try to overcome it or refuse it.
So, just kind of like acknowledging that it's there and, like we can all work together to hopefully restore order.
In a way, yeah. I think, or to create a new order, because those those structures are embedded on our minds. Like they shape the way we communicate. They shape the way we see um, the reflection of the self. So the way we deal with self-esteem, for example, after, I don't know, 10 or 12 years of usage of like Instagram or Twitter, like the way public discourse has changed and has been influenced by those things. It's pretty hard, not to say like impossible, but it's pretty hard to simply discard those changes. So maybe it's more of a let's overcome this,
Hmm.
and rather than like just refuse it altogether.
Yeah, like have maybe a better balance because, like you said, even nowadays it's hard to even be an artist without being on social media because that's where everyone is nowadays.
Yeah, and the um, the way like its limitations or its possibilities shape the way we communicate. So
Hmm.
uh, the idea of what a like means, or what a photo of yourself means, in
Yeah,
order, like what is your intention when you put it out to the world, and what is the intention of people when they react to it. It's way more uh like it's hard to keep like a certain naivete or a certain innocence when it comes to the usage of the internet.
for sure. I definitely hear that. So back to the album, which songs means the most to you personally? Like which song have you put the most emotional investment in and why that song?
That's hard to tell, because I think when it comes to the songs, I really relate to like the beats that we created, you know. So
Hmm.
because of the um like the permutations of them. So I think maybe Advertencia, like the fifth song, because I really like the beat. I really like uh, how there's like a clave in one hand and like a steady figure going around it, you know, and there's like this like salsa pattern on the bass drum.
Yeah.
I really like how there's a certain familiarity between songs in this album. Like there is this uh, like the songs have like kind of pairings. They are related in the like a in a family sense. They're like siblings. So there
Yeah.
are many types of beats that reappear in another song but recontextualized. So like this song has a clave going on the percussion, which is more or less the same as the snare in Reflexo, like the song that came out, like which is way more of a hyper Brazilian funk
Hmm.
song, like very electronic, you know. But like the snare pattern of that song is the same as the clave that's going on another song, but because of the instrumentation, it really sounds different. Like I I for me it's a challenge. I really want to see the album come up to see if people will recognize uh, recognize the common patterns that arise from different contexts, you know, or if they are well disguised enough for people to to need someone to point them out, you know.
Would you also say like that's the first song you would recommend for anyone to listen to first, or do you think this album is best if you like listen from start to finish?
I think this album, most of Deaf Kids albums, they were quite the journey in the sense that they were like they had there were like three or four songs that were regular songs in a way, and there were a lot of songs that were part of like a connective tissue, you know. So it was way more of a steady journey. Of course, you could listen to the songs separated.
Hmm.
And this album has this as well, but at the same time, they are all independent songs in a way. So I think, um, let me think, because there are like types of songs. So, for example, Cicatrizes, for example, the second and the fourth song, they have like this kind of related structure of sorts. Like there are electronic beats with
Hmm.
like congas overimposed on them. They are way more uh, electronic centered, you know, in a
Yeah.
classic way. And at the same time, the first song is way more of a like this, like the loudest, the more distorted one of the album, like in a rock kind of way.
Yeah.
Uh, so there are many approaches in the album, and it's hard to pinpoint which one would be the most the most representative of what the album is.
Mhm.
But I would say maybe my favorite is the fifth one, like Advertência, because I think it's even the way where it's positioned. I think it's uh, uh, a good way to frame the album. You know.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, well, all of these titles are, I'm assuming, in Portuguese. So for the English listeners, what do the albums mean? Like, is it a theme? Is it just like, the the songs are just like its own thing, or is it centered around like a theme of the album?
There are there are many um I think if you see like a translation of each title, you clearly see a pattern arise. But it's like, for example, there are songs like feitiço means spell, you know, spell as in like a magic spell.
Mm-hmm.
Reflexo, it's like reflex. Cicatrizes, scars. Advertência is like warning. So when you juxtapose that to the meaning of the album, to the name of the album itself, you can clearly see where this is going. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the slowest song, uh, like collective possession. So you see. Uh, I think that's the thing with Deaf Kids, which is a vision that we both share, me and Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like most art that we like um, doesn't necessarily refer to uh, what it is about, but it makes clear what it's not about. You know, in the
Yeah.
sense that like you can clearly see the thematic affiliations, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not saying necessarily a specific thing. It's reflecting on a certain set of subjects rather than versing specifically about one thing. Like you can clearly see what is the thematic world which the
Mm-hmm.
song is referencing, rather than it like talking specifically about one thing.
For sure. Well, that's awesome. I do have one last question here for you. Is there anything you'd like to say to old fans, new fans, or anyone interested in listening to the album?
Um, I would thank everyone who like gives an ear, lends an ear to the album. Hope people dig it. Um, yeah, I don't know if there's like that's the cool thing about Deaf Kids. We are we have been weird for so long that I think like old fans that are still with us, they I don't think it will be like too much of a departure of what we have been doing. So we hope people still dig what we do, and for the new fans or old fans or uh, I think like come and dance with us because Deaf Kids has this thing where it's been dance music of sorts for a long time. Even when we were like this D beat band,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that because it's kind of hard to predict what we are doing, like when the song is going to stop or what will happen. I think a lot of people feel kind of intimidated by Deaf Kids, like on a live setting,
Yeah.
to to enjoy it because they don't know if they're like dancing wrong, if the song is going to stop. So we would invite people to come to the conclusion that yes, we are a bodily band. Like we create music that has even a certain athletic aspect to it. Like we enjoy it through through the body as well. Like it's important to it's not necessarily a singer songwriter thing, you know, like where we are trying to convey a message and that's it. Like the
Mm-hmm.
way we relate to it on a physical level has to do with the way we relate to it on a mental level because both are the same. So we want people to feel connected to that on those on both aspects, like to really really let yourself go and like enjoy it, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually.
Awesome. And I will let you introduce the album when it comes out and where everyone can grab a copy.
Right on. You can you can grab it through Neurot Recordings on LP, CD. It will probably be out on all streaming platforms, so you can check out there. You can check out on Bandcamp, Neurot, ours. It helps a lot because we know that Spotify is fucked. If you allow me, uh, if you'll pardon my English, but that's it. Like you can listen to it online, preferably on Bandcamp, or you can grab the LP and the CD. And by the end of the year, we'll be in Europe, hopefully in some other places. And well, that's it. I hope people dig it.
And I'll leave all the links in the comments so you can just click on it, order it, pre-order it, and it comes out on the 29th. I want to thank you so much for taking your time for doing this interview.